Hello everyone, I am back with the new session. Welcome back to my channel. This is Prashanti. So today we are going to continue the previous sessions. Okay, human physiology lo human endocrine system discuss chestuntunnam. So human endocrine system, so recently we completed pituitary and hypothalamus glands. So today we are going to see what are the two glands, adrenal gland and pancreas. Okay, first we are going to see adrenal gland. See, adrenal gland is present on the above surface of the kidney. That's why adrenal glands also known as suprarenal glands. Okay, suprarenal glands. So this adrenal gland is divided into two portions. See, outer portion is known as cortex, and in the middle portion, centrally located portion is known as medulla. Right. So first we will see the adrenal cortex. Okay, adrenal cortex means outer portion. Okay, so adrenal cortex, again it is having three layers. Okay, three layers. What are the three layers? We'll see. Zona reticularis, and second one is the zona fasciculata. Okay, and third one is zona glomerulosa. Okay, these are the three layers. Listen guys carefully. So adrenal cortex is the outer surface of the adrenal gland. So it is made up of three layers: zona reticularis, zona fasciculata and zona glomerulosa. Whatever hormones are released by the cortex release చేసే హార్మోన్స్ అన్నిటినీ మనం ఏమంటున్నాం? కార్టికాయిడ్స్. So zona reticularis is releasing the corticoid, that name is known as androgen. Okay, what are the functions of androgen? Okay, what are the functions of androgen here? Androgens. So androgens are responsible for secondary sexual characters. All the secondary sexual characters. So briefly I will say what are secondary sexual characters. Secondary sexual characters means hair on the face, hair on the body. So in the different regions of the bodies, the male body is going to get the hair. So like axial parts, underarms, and then pelvic portions and on the chest. So and at the same time development of the reproductive organs like testis. So whatever the and releasing of the sperms, everything is under the control of the hormones androgens. Okay, androgens are going to be released by the layer zona reticularis and then zona fasciculata. Zona fasciculata is releasing the corticoid is known as mineralocorticoid. What is the example for mineralocorticoid? Here I am writing, see, aldosterone. Mineralocorticoid, in the name only it is there, mineral balance. Okay, so what are the main components here? Water and electrolytes. Balance is done by the mineralocorticoids. So here మనం in depth వెళ్తే aldosterone function వచ్చేసరికి, సో ఎస్పెషల్గా మనకి బీపీ డౌన్ అయినప్పుడు, when the BP falls, blood pressure decreases. When the blood pressure decreases, our body is releasing angiotensin 2. Okay, angiotensin 2 ni release చేస్తుంది. So angiotensin 2 is stimulating the releasing of the aldosterone. So this aldosterone is going to stimulate the reabsorption of sodium and water electrolytes. All the electrolytes are going to be reabsorbed in the renal tubules. Where the reabsorption takes place? Renal tubules. In the renal tubules the reabsorption takes place. That was done by the aldosterone, and for that release there is a factor is required, that is angiotensin 2. So androgens and aldosterone. Then what about zona glomerulosa? Glucocorticoids. Okay, glucocorticoids function to the glucocorticoids. Mainly it is responsible, example cortisol. Cortisol is an example for glucocorticoids. So glucocorticoid is responsible for carbohydrate metabolism, lipolysis, proteolysis, and also it is responsible for specially anti-inflammatory responses. Anti-inflammatory responses, when we require anti-inflammatory, what is anti-inflammatory? Anti-inflammatory responses are nothing but when the foreign substances enters into our body starts inflammation, start showing inflammation. Inflammation ante ఏంటంటే ఇమ్మీడియట్ గా ఆపోజిట్ రియాక్షన్ చూపిస్తుంది. ఆపోజిట్ రియాక్షన్ చూపించినప్పుడు ఏమవుతుందంటే ఏదైనా హార్మ్ఫుల్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్స్ ఉన్నప్పుడు ఆటోమేటిక్ గా అవి that should be killed and thrown away from the body. That is the main purpose of the inflammatory responses. So when organ transplantation takes place, when organ transplantation, especially during organ transplantation, so to stop that inflammatory responses, this cortisol is showing the anti-inflammatory responses. So main point here, anti-inflammatory responses. Okay, that is about the glucocorticoids. So fast recap, see all of you. Adrenal cortex is outer region and it is made up of 3 layers, and the hormones released by the cortex is known as corticoids. 3 types of layers: zona reticularis releasing androgens, and zona fasciculata mineralocorticoids, zona glomerulosa glucocorticoids and their functions. Now we will see the adrenal medulla functions. Adrenal medulla. So adrenal medulla also plays very important role. Adrenal medulla, see adrenal medulla. Adrenal medulla is centrally located. This portion, so the centrally located portion is known as adrenal medulla. Centrally located portion, and this adrenal medulla is releasing two hormones. Yes, first one is adrenaline, and second one is the noradrenaline. So adrenaline is having the same another name, epinephrine, norepinephrine. Okay, so adrenal medulla is releasing 2 types of hormones, adrenal hormones and non-adrenal hormones. These hormones also known as emergency hormone. Okay, emergency hormones, and also known as flight or fight hormone, okay. Adrenaline and epinephrine, noradrenaline, norepinephrine, also known as emergency hormones, and it is also known as flight and fight hormones. Means whenever we get such type of situations, our body is going to show the responses. Okay, what are the responses? We'll discuss now. So adrenaline, noradrenaline is also known as catecholamines. What are the functions? I will see. So whenever we get threatened situations means, so our heartbeat is going to increase. So many are going to be increased. One is heartbeat, another one is the respiratory rate increases, and the third one is, wait a minute, so respiratory rate increases, and also pupil dilates, hair erection is also known as piloerection. Okay, respiratory rate increases, and at the same time metabolic rate also increases. So these 3 factors are going to increase when the adrenal releases in the body. Adrenal release అయినప్పుడు హార్ట్ బీట్ ఇంక్రీజ్ అవుతుంది, రెస్పిరేటరీ రేట్ ఇంక్రీజ్ అవుతుంది, మెటబాలిక్ రేట్ ఇంక్రీజ్ అవుతుంది, ప్యూపిల్ డైలేషన్ జరుగుతుంది, అండ్ ఇంక్రీజింగ్ అలర్ట్నెస్. సో అవర్ బాడీ షోస్ మోర్ అలర్ట్నెస్ in this special situations, emergency situations. Alertness also increases, and also this catecholamines also responsible for 3 main functions. One is gluconeogenesis, lipolysis, proteolysis. Why? Because in this situation we need more energy. More energy is possible when more glucose produces. When more glucose produces, automatically we can able to balance the body conditions. So for that, these three process has to be done. One is gluconeogenesis, lipolysis and proteolysis. Gluconeogenesis means production of glucose. Lipolysis, breakdown of lipids. And here proteolysis means breakdown of proteins. Okay, this is the adrenal medulla hormones and functions. Okay, that is about adrenal gland. Now we'll come to the pancreas. Okay, pancreas is also known as mixed gland. Pancreas is also known as mixed gland. So in this maximum portion of the pancreas is performing the function as exocrine. Then only 1 to 2% of the pancreas is performing the endocrine functions. And what are the structures are responsible for endocrine functions? Islets of Langerhans. Islets of Langerhans. Islets of Langerhans. Okay. Then, so this in these islets of Langerhans, you can see these two types of cells. One is alpha cells, another one is the beta cells. Okay. Alpha cells releases glucagon hormone, beta cells releases insulin hormone, glucagon. So when this required, glucagon is also known as hypoglycemic hormone, and this one will be hyperglycemic hormone. Hyperglycemic hormone and hypoglycemic hormone. Hypoglycemic conditions means, so glucagon, hypoglycemic is nothing but when glucose levels decreases. So the glycogen is going to break down and releases glucose. This process is known as gluconeogenesis. Okay. So glycogen, when the glucose levels decreases in the blood, so the glycogen molecules in the liver, okay, is going to be break down into glucose molecules, and that process is known as gluconeogenesis. And then second situation, insulin. Very important, insulin. When glucose levels increases in the blood, so then the reverse process takes place. The glucose is going to be entered and it will be stored in the form of glycogen. So both the reactions takes place in which cells? Hepatocytes, liver cells. So this process is known as glycogenesis. When more glucose levels decreases in the body, that condition will be diabetes insipidus. When more glucose levels increases in the blood, it will be diabetes mellitus. Means more glucose levels increases in the blood, it results frequent urination. Because of that frequent urination, we are going to lose the glucose molecules through urine, and that condition will be diabetes mellitus. Okay, so this is about the adrenal gland and pancreas. So go through these topics clearly. If you want to take screenshot, you can take. So ఈరోజు టాపిక్ మీకు అర్థమైందని అనుకుంటున్నాను. If you did not understand anything, please comment, and at the same time, if you like the video, please like and share and subscribe the channel. So what is the channel name? Prashanti Smarted Bio by Prashanti ma'am. Okay, thank you for watching.